Recently, we had the official sequel for Grow a Garden release, called Grow a Garden 2. This game has been awaited by many people, and it really shows because the game is constantly at the top of the front page on Roblox and averages around 400 to 700,000 players. But despite being fresh new, the game is already having many problems, which make more people already dislike how the game is turning out. The original Grow a Garden released last year and was a game changer due to how popular it was. Grow a Garden was the first game on Roblox to get over 10 million players and stayed as the record holder for multiple months. So with that, a sequel being made wasn't surprising, and you'd expect that since they made so much money from the original game and now also gained some experience on how to work with a game like Grow a Garden, the sequel would be better in basically everything. Well, now that sequel is out, so far it looks like a mess. The game itself is not too different from the original Grow a Garden, just that it's a fresh new start with new economy and not as many things that make it more complicated. Visually, the game did improve in some parts, like some plant models look good. But some of the events really show the visual improvements, like Golden or Rainbow Nights, which might be my favorite so far. But why am I saying that this game is a mess? Pretty simple. While visually looking good, it has plenty of problems. Right when the game released, many people had a problem with loading into the game. The game also wasn't balanced properly, so a lot of things right on release were cheaper and getting shekels was also easier. That led to the first nerf in the game, which people weren't happy about. But what it did is just make some crops cheaper, while some seeds more expensive to buy. At one point, there even was a bug where anything you sold would be heavily underpaid for. But going even further, there is a way to soft lock yourself in this game. Basically, when you have tutorial, you plant the carrot and then shovel it. The game will try to stop you, but won't actually stop you. So now you have no carrot and no money. This should be fixed soon apparently, but a little funny this exists after over a week since release. The big thing about Grow a Garden 2 is stealing. Or at least that is what the team behind this game used to advertise it. Even the game's icon itself is more about stealing than growing a garden. While stealing itself seems to be fine, there are other problems related to it. People have been complaining about exploiters, but also the fact that if you join the game when it's night, someone can steal from you while you're loading into the game. And if you are AFK in a private server, the game will auto-rejoin you so that you can continue to AFK, but there is a chance it sends you to a public server instead, which can also get your stuff stolen simply because you spawn outside of your garden. Basically, the game has plenty of issues, and there might be an explanation to it. Apparently, the game was barely play-tested, and the only time they were looking for testers was a day before the release. That can explain stuff like the soft lock or balancing issues on release. But if the game wasn't properly tested, that also opens the doors to some worse stuff, like duping. The original game suffered duping a few times, which destroyed the economy, and having a sequel meant finally a fresh, new economy. Well, duping was found basically day one in this game, and people have duped many millions of the best seeds in the game. I was shown this image of someone trying to sell tens of thousands of best seeds for just a few tens of dollars, which shows how huge the dupe became. That haven't destroyed the economy yet, but did harm the game for sure. And speaking of people selling in-game stuff for real money, this game has a bot problem. You may remember when the original Grow a Garden had a problem with bots, and now the sequel is having that exact issue too. I managed to join some botted servers, and you may wonder why everything is so laggy. The frames get destroyed due to the many hundreds of plants, and the RAM usage also skyrockets, in my case, over 5 gigabytes. The bots got some of the craziest plants you'll ever see, but what is their purpose? They stand in one place, slightly teleporting, and they can buy seeds, plant them, shovel bad plants, and sell crops without moving at all. This is done to earn more shekels and buy the best seeds in the game, which then get cross-traded for real money. This is the case with any game that has a bot problem, basically. The only reason anyone would have a bot farm. Also, a little extra I wanted to mention is the usage of generative AI. Some Twitter posts like this use AI-generated plants. Here you can easily tell by how broken the stud texture is. But also in the game itself, some icons seem to be generated by AI, like this shopping cart or the coin bundles or this pepper, which especially screams AI. Just something I thought is worth to mention, considering they made many millions of dollars from Grow a Garden. But now let's move on to something that happened just recently. The first update in Grow a Garden 2. This is what it added, and people are not happy. The update added one new plant that isn't even better than the one we already had. It also added 2 gears, which are only used for trolling, one new event with mutation, and they replace bargaining with double or nothing. Just the like percent alone shows how much people did not like this update. It was so bad that the post from main Grow a Garden account was even deleted, and the pay-to-win feature they added, which were pet finders, had to be removed from Robux shop. And I think this update really shows how big of a mess and disaster this game is already. It was so bad, in fact, that Jandel himself made a video saying it was terrible. Now they will be mostly releasing new stuff through the week, instead of having weekly updates from what it seems. The first mini update already happened, and they added a strawberry sniper, which is yet again a troll item that people like me won't care about since it doesn't actually help. Another thing we got to know is that they do not plan to have the same kind of admin abuses that the original Grow a Garden gets, simply to prevent the economy from getting destroyed. And on that topic, the economy and balancing in this game is a mess. I did mention how duping was found very quickly, but apart from that, it just seems like balancing is a big problem. On release, as I mentioned before, they had to make things harder, and they did continue to make things harder later too. So, let me give an example. I bought a sunflower seed for 5 million, and I got this plant that grows 1 sunflower crop at a time. Now, how much does it sell for? Less than 3,000. That is very little. Mutations would fix this though, right? Well, in over 10 hours that I've been AFK in this game since I last harvested sunflower, it never got any mutation. The same problem is with Venus flytrap. What is the point of spending so much if the plant you bought will take forever to profit? I tried to use sprinklers, but since they last only 2 minutes, the sunflower didn't even begin growing in time. Balancing is something I've seen people complain about, and it is for a reason. Don't get me wrong, when things aren't easy to get, it makes a game better. It's just that Grow a Garden 2 doesn't do it right. Mutations take forever to get. This mushroom right here been waiting for a mutation for a few days already. And talking about mushrooms, they were nerfed with the update, so even though it says they are worth at least 13,000, when I sold mine, it was worth less than 7,000. And the seed costs 15,000, so you are forced to get mutations. And as I showed with Sunflower and Venus flytrap, there is no point in buying them because you'll have to wait for an eternity before they actually make the money back that you spent on them. And getting mutations will take a while, which is a problem for anyone who can't have the game run in the background for an entire day like me. So the game is pretty much a mess. And it's like percentage is just constantly going down. The amount of dislikes compared to likes actually went up after the first update, and soon enough it will be lower than the original Grow a Garden's like percent. The game itself does have some good parts to it, like I really enjoy how crazy some plants can grow. This part is actually done better than the original game in my opinion. I also like how they got the game's icon update when there is a rare item in stock or an event is ongoing, and as I mentioned before, some events are done much cooler visually. It's just that the execution and lack of playtesting really ruins it. The duping, balancing, and other big problems, but also the smaller bugs that you may stumble upon sometimes make this game a mess and a disaster. The game also doesn't have some of the stuff the original game has, like info for what gear items do, or something like a harvest tool to help collecting crops from big plants like this. The main reason why Grow a Garden 2 has so many players right now is simply because it's new and it has millions of new people try it out every day. But soon enough there will be less of those new players, and if it keeps on being a mess that it is right now, it will begin to drop in player count pretty quickly. Anyway, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. That helps the channel a lot. You can watch one of these videos while waiting for a new one. They are good too. You can join my Discord server or play our game with links in description, and I will see you soon.